Hi everybody, it's JoJo and I'm here to do a ASMR story time video for you guys. I have my cute little robe on. It's very soft. And I'm just about to take a shower and take my makeup off and get ready for bed. Before I do, yeah, I was just about to take a shower and take makeup, but before I do, I wanted to read you guys a story before bed. So I'm going to wear my Tutti Frutti Candy cream. Now, I'm gonna moisturize my skin. I already had my tea. So, you know, I already had a full cup of hot tea. It felt really good. It's raining right now tonight, so maybe the rain will help with ASMR. And yeah, it's been a rainy day and a rainy night. And yeah, I'm gonna read you a story. This is actually a cute, fun Disney one. Again, this is called Kingdom Keepers Disney After Dark. So this I think is supposed to resemble the Magic Kingdom in Disney World. And it's supposed to be about like Disney World and the Magic Kingdom. It's by Ridley Pearson. And yeah, so this is the book 1. So I guess there was more of these. I only got the first one. I remember I got this at Barnes & Noble, and Barnes & Noble, you remember Barnes & Noble? Before they became extinct. But yeah, I thought this was a cute book and I wanted to read. So there's a thing in the back, of course, like old books, and I'm going to read it to you before I go in and I read like some of the chapters. Okay, so in this fantastical thriller, 5 young teens, tapped as models for theme park guides, find themselves pitted against Disney villains and witches who threaten both the future of Walt Disney World and the stability of the world outside its walls. Interesting. I forgot what this book was about. So it's about, okay, so teens are in Disney World and they're against Disney villains who threaten the future of Walt and the stability of the world outside its walls. Using a cutting-edge technology called DHI, which stands for both Disney Host Interactive and Daylight Hologram Imaging, Finn, Whitman, an Orlando teen, and 4 other kids are transformed into hologram projections that guide guests through the park. So I guess this is a futuristic version of Disney World. So I guess like this is like something that's supposed to be made years from now. So it's going to be like something where you can put on goggles and you're directly transported into Disney World and makes you feel like you're in the theme park. That's actually cool. I wish they do make that one day because it's actually cool. Okay. However, the new technology turns out to have unexpected effects that are both thrilling and scary. Soon, Finn finds himself transported in his DHI form into the Magic Kingdom at night. Is it real? Is he dreaming? Finn's confusion only increases when he encounters Wayne, an elderly Imagineer, who tells them that the park is in grave danger. Led by the scheming witch Maleficent, a mysterious group of characters called the Overtakers is plotting to destroy Disney's beloved realm, and many more. The gripping high-tech tale will thrill every kid who has ever dreamed of sneaking into Walt Disney World after hours and wondered what happens at night when the park is closed. Okay, and then it says what happens next, read book 2, Disney at Dawn, in the bottom here. Okay, so this is actually a really cool book, like a really cool, like, okay, so the first one's this one, Disney After Dark. The second one's called Disney at Dawn. The third one's called Disney in Shadow. The fourth one is called Power Play, and the 5th one is called Shell Game. There's a whole series, I didn't know that. Okay. This book is dedicated to anyone and everyone who ever wondered what happens when the gates are closed and the lights go out. This was published in 2005. Okay, so let's see. I guess I'll read like the first couple of pages and then I'll go into, more later. Like I'll try to skim through the book and see. Okay, so he found himself standing next to the flagpole in town square, in the heart of the Magic Kingdom, in his pajamas. How'd he gotten here? He had no idea. His last memory was climbing into bed. It felt like only minutes earlier. Gripped by a scene of panic, awed by the sight of the Cinderella castle at night, Finn Whitman briefly recalled that he had had other similar dreams recently. Always in the Magic Kingdom, always at night. But in his 13 years, none so real, so vivid as this. He felt a breeze on his face. He smelled the wet earth of a flower bed not far away. He heard the distant whine of traffic and the buzz of a motorboat on the lake behind him. It looked so different, he thought, only to realize he'd spoken out loud. Main Street stood empty, not a person in sight. He glanced around and quickly saw that he was all alone. Not so different as all that, came a man's voice, though faint. It startled Finn. He looked around again, this time trying to find the source of that voice. There, an old man with white hair on a bench in front of the exhibition hall. He sat so close to a seated sculpture of Goofy that Finn hadn't noticed him. Oh, I remember this. Okay, because I've been to Disney World many times. There is, so there's a bench when you go inside the Magic Kingdom, like when you first enter the gates. There's a bench and like there's like a statue of Goofy sitting on the bench. So yeah, I know. Okay, that's funny how they have that here. Finn moved toward the man crossing the empty street. He felt unusually light, almost buoyant. The old man wore khakis, a collared shirt, and a name tag, Wayne. Where is everybody? Finn asked. Is it empty? The man asked. Tell me what you see. Finn wondered if the old man was blind. He seemed to be looking at Finn. His blue eyes looked perfectly normal. Still, maybe he couldn't see. Well, Finn said politely, it's like empty and it's dark out, and it's just the two of us. Wayne's expression changed to disappointment. What am I supposed to see exactly? Finn asked. You're only supposed to see what you can see. Whatever that means, Finn said. It means exactly what it says. If you say so. Listen, young man, I've been around here since long before any of them were even created. I live in the apartment above the fire station. That takes some seniority, believe me. Nice pajamas, the old man said. His pajamas seemed to be glowing. What was with that? I don't mean to be rude, but if you can see, if you're not blind, then why did you ask me about the park being empty? How do you think you got here, young man? That depends on where I am. Very good answer. I expected no less of you. Excuse me? I assume that you'd question this. That's only natural, but ultimately, there's only one explanation, isn't there? Is there? Finn asked. The other ones I wasn't so sure about, but you, Finn? By the way, that's a fine name you have, a name with real potential. What other ones? Finn asked. He studied Town Square and Main Street. The street lamps shone yellow. The Cinderella castle glowed in the distance. All the familiar streets and paths and attractions, but empty. I told you there's no one here. No one but us. It's empty. Wayne said nothing as he walked up Main Street, past the shops and toward the castle. Finn found himself following right away. They reached Central Plaza, an island in the center of a traffic circle, the spokes of which led to the Magic Kingdoms of various lands. Tomorrowland, Frontierland, Liberty Street, Fantasyland. They stopped in front of a statue of Walt Disney with Mickey Mouse. The castle rose majestically into the night sky. What time is it? Wayne asked. As Finn brought his arm up to look at his watch, he saw that his arm wasn't exactly his arm. It was glowing. Not only glowing, but he could also almost see through it, as if, what's going on? Finn asked. What's with my arm? Figure it out. He then reached into his pocket and removed what looked like a remote control for a car, a small black plastic fob with a single red button. It looked like a garage door opener. What's with that thing? Finn asked. This button will send you back. Back where? Finn felt a jolt of fear, but if this wasn't a dream, he steadied his arm again. Back to bed, Wayne answered. So it is a dream, I thought so. It's not a dream. Finn saw a pair of 4-foot-tall chipmunks come out of the castle. They walked down a path and turned left toward Toontown. He felt himself staring. He recognized them. What? Wayne asked excitedly. Nothing, Finn answered. You saw nothing. You saw nothing. Hey, what's the big deal? Tell me what you saw. You saw it too. Which character? Which character did you see? Want me to push this button? Goofy went tearing past them and headed into Frontierland. Never looked in Goofy's direction. You're playing head games with me, Finn said. Am I? Goofy. Are you asking me if I'm Goofy? I've been called worse. You saw Goofy. Yeah, so what? You would have too if you'd bothered to look. Finn decided to test Wayne. Chippendale, he said. You saw them, right? You saw Chippendale? Finn, he's made it sound like Finn had won the lottery. What was with that? This isn't getting a little weird. I think I want to go back now. I'll push the button if you like, but I have to warn you. Warn me about what? What you'll be missing. The park after dark. Basically all to himself, the attractions operate day and night. Not many people know that. Now I know I'm dreaming. But you aren't. Sorry, I was getting attacked. Are you forgetting your arm? Like you're glowing. I told you so, tone of voice. Am I? What might account for that? I give up. No, you don't. You never would have chosen for this if you were the kind who gives up on things. That's what I liked about you from your first audition tape. Okay, so this is going on and on and on. Let me try to skim through. Okay, so this is now chapter 9. When Finn awoke, he buried into the bathroom, tore his shirt off over his head, and studied the pea-sized red and brown scab with a dime-sized scarlet circle of flesh that surrounded it. The burn hurt something fierce. That was no dream. He winced as he cleaned it with soap and water. Finn, dear, are you all right? His mother asked. Fine, may I come in? She let herself in. She was in her nightgown. Dawn had arrived an hour earlier, the pink of the eastern sky now silver with clouds. Finn, dear. She studied him in the mirror's reflection from behind, no doubt wondering why he was only half-dressed, his shirt in a ball on the floor. What's that? What happened, honey? Okay, so what? She gasped. He felt awful, both for lying to her and for using smoking as his excuse. He'd crush her. Oh, he's saying that a cigarette did that to him. He felt awful, both for lying to her and for using smoking as his excuse. He'd crush her, Mom. Who? How'd you get in? Mom, how did you lie to me? She collected herself. A pirate? What? He's called pirate because he's so mean? He should be arrested. No, it's nothing. Her eyes went soft and her eyebrows danced, and he thought that this was the way she looked before she cried. Oh, Finn, thank you for not lying to me. It's so important not to lie. Give me his name, please, his real name right now. I don't know his real name, just some kid. I don't think he meant to burn me, just scare me a little. It's just one of those growing up things, you know? Did you sleep in your clothes? This is the same shirt. These are the same clothes you wore yesterday, for goodness sakes. Hands beneath the table, Mom. I can't help it if you didn't see it. I should have shown with your going to bed so early last night. We can't tell your father. He breathed a huge sigh of relief. How late were you out? She asked, heading for his bedroom window to inspect it like a detective. Midnight. That was the truth. Chapter 10. Finn stood in front of the locker, wondering how he was going to find the remaining two DHIs, Willa and Maybeck. He didn't trust Charlene to seek out Willa. Just as he was thinking this, a voice said, Isabella Angelo, they call her Willa. Where had she come from? Could she read minds? She found her. Maitland Middle School. I have my ways. She's into some weird kind of sport. It's not gymnastics. It got a little weird. Her face twisted. That looks like a cigarette burn. You and your mother. Excuse me. So they're going in and out of... Okay, so they're not in the Disney park anymore. She's home. And he is... I don't know if he's at school or this the next day. It's dinner. We don't own a computer or a TV. Well, good for you. Nothing wrong with that. Finn spends way too much time on his, as far as I'm concerned. Did they ever go back into the... Finn, are you sure you feel all right? Finn felt stupid wearing a bathrobe. She'd glanced up and seen him. I guess let's just read the last couple of pages here. I don't know where to begin. Finn followed her line of sight. Maleficent had caught up to Jazz, but Jazz held her hands in front of her and tried as Maleficent might, she could not get close to the girl. Is Jazz who I think she is? Then she is. Then you are. But he stopped himself as Maleficent raised her hand to cast a spell. Seeing this, Finn jumped down the trash chute. I'll never forget what you did. The tube reeked of rotting trash. In the distance, far down the tube, echoing through the mantle, Finn heard hoots and hollers, Maybeck and Phoebe. He slammed into some kind of mash gate, an intersection of on the other side. Through the roar, he heard her mumble. Maleficent closed the gap. He heard a clank of metal not far ahead, yet another gate. She wound up to deliver yet another spell. The two of them racing through the slimy tube, Finn grabbed hold of a clawing rat and threw it at her. Maleficent fought off and right for Finn. She called back, that depends on whose magic it is. Oh, you forgot something. Evil never wins in the Magic Kingdom. That depends on whose magic it is. Hurry, Rain shouted. Finn reached for the edge, pulled himself up and over and fell to the ground, splatting, soaking wet. There he was, she covered in goo. The team of the adults quickly... Maleficent shot out of the end trash and giant container. To the bus, quickly, Wayne hollered, moving in that direction again. The other adults worked furiously to secure the net. As Finn ran, he heard Maleficent's wails of complaint from the bin. Finn shouted, "You're not going to?" "No," Wayne replied. "We don't kill anything here, not even witches. We give her a taste of her own jail, the one you found. For a while. It'll give us time to determine how much power the Overtakers have gained. You've done well. We're almost through." "Almost," shouted all three boys, coming to a stop at once. They all boarded the bus. Finn handed him the planes and the pens. Wayne looked back gratefully and said, "Goodbye, kids." Okay. Okay, and this is the last chapter. The local newspaper would report the next day that a private party at the Magic Kingdom had been responsible for the most amazing show of fireworks the park had ever seen. But Finn and the other DHIs would know differently. With the sky still erupting outside, Wayne walked over to Finn and extended a hand of thanks. They shook hands. The kids cheered and formed a huddle. As they spun in celebration, Wayne returned to the coffee table. There he picked up the black remote and pushed the button. Okay, so then you would have to read the next book to find out what happens next. Of course, I skimmed through it because I'm not going to read you the whole damn book, you know. But I hope this relaxed you before bed. And I know reading a story before bed always relaxes me. Now I'm going to go take a nice hot warm bath, take my makeup off, and go to bed. I love you guys. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the book, The Magic Keepers. And I hope you guys enjoyed this ASMR storytelling. And I will do many more coming shortly on my channel. All right, I love you guys. Bye.